Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. You can probably tell from the thumbnail that I'm going to open, but not really open because it's already open and I'm already drinking some of the tea, my Sips by Box for this month. And I actually had to take all the stuff out to take a picture with it because the one that's already open kept spilling everywhere. So now it contains papaya and cardboard, probably. And then just a little review for Middlegame, which if you've watched any of my other videos in the last month and a half, you've heard me talk about a million times because it took me so long to get to reading it, even though it was first on my TBR list when I did my book cart. All right, so let me see. I wonder which one I talked about first last time. I want to mix it up, but I don't have the memory span for all that. So I'll just talk about the book first. All right, so Middlegame is by Shannon McGuire. I don't think I've read any other Shannon McGuire. She does write also as Mara Grant, and I think I have read maybe two books by her under that name. But this book is about... oh my gosh, it's about so many things. The book starts with the idea that alchemists are trying to figure out how to manifest the doctrine, which will be a way to take over and be in charge of time, to control time. And there was an alchemist who had figured it out and had a lot of ideas about how to do this. And she was kind of shunned from the alchemist community because she was a woman and they didn't believe that she had anything to offer. So she creates a man through alchemy who will succeed her in moving her plans forward after she dies. So there's a whole kind of like ritual thing happening around that. So jump ahead a bunch of years, 100 to be exact, and that man is still trying to figure out how to manifest the doctrine, and the ways that he does that, or the ways that he works towards that, have to do with finding two children or creating two children that will hold the secrets of the world in numbers, and one that will hold the secrets of the world in words. So lots of children have been created and destroyed in order to figure out this master plan. So obviously, because we're reading this book, the two current children are growing up before our eyes, and they don't have any idea about any of that. I'm gonna have to put spoiler on this video, apparently, because I just said a whole bunch of stuff. So they kind of know, we know from the beginning. Actually, the front matter in this book says all the things that I just said. So once you get 12 pages into this book, you will know everything that I just told you. So the rest of the book kind of follows these two people through their lives, and they're connected in a way that doesn't make sense to anyone or to them. So they, of course, keep it to themselves. And they spend some time in their life connected and then sometimes shutting each other out for fear. And so it's a bit of a good versus evil situation. It's a bit of like chosen one, but not really kind of situation. And there's lots of gruesomeness. So the cover is a hand that has wicks sticking out of it because one of the ritualistic artifacts that they use is a severed hand that has power of different things depending on how you use it and who makes it. So there's a lot of time travel because they're trying to master, this man who was made through alchemy is trying to master time, and he has people who are working for him and people who think he's working for them, but he's really not, you know. So there's lots of that kind of stuff happening, and it is a whopping 524 pages. So it's a thick boy for sure. One of the neat things that is happening is that female alchemist who died a long time ago wrote a series of children's books in which she hid some of the clues of what's happening. And so the story is interspersed with some little pieces of a children's story that may be revealing things to people who are reading it. It didn't reveal anything to me, but it could be revealing to you. I've been thinking about annotating a book or two. I haven't done that in a really long time. I haven't been a student in a long time, and I don't necessarily find it super fun in general, but I've been thinking about doing that, especially for books that I'm going to discuss online or whatever. This would have been a good one to do that with. One, it's got a lot of information and a lot of opportunities to recognize themes and recurring plot points and things like that. But I didn't think about it until I was probably 100 or so pages in, and then I was not going to go back for it. So there are some times when I felt like things were dragging, or I was like, oh, come on, we get it. Because the writing is very rich, and there are times when like there's some repetition of the language to help, I think, give some weight to what's happening, and where I was like, okay, let's just move past it a little bit. I would say it's a solid 3.5. I really liked the story. But because I had those moments while reading it where I was ready to move on a little quicker, like the pace felt a little bit slow, it might be a 4.0 as I think about a 4 out of 5 stars as I think about it, but it feels more like a 3.5 right now. I would definitely read more by her. I believe that the kinds of things she writes as Shannon McGuire are different than the kinds of things she writes as Mara Grant. Like there's a distinction in that way, but I would definitely read more Shannon McGuire. I would read more Mara Grant, in fact. I liked those books too. Oh, it's also on the back that that guy created them. So it's not a spoiler any more than the summary. So good for me. I thought I was giving all the secrets away. So that was Middlegame. Glad I read it. Finally. Oh, jeez. Right. And so then the tea. If you don't know, Sips By is a monthly subscription box. They are not supporting me in any way or sponsoring me in any way. I'm happy to take their free tea if they want to give it to me, but I'm just sharing it with you because I think lots of book readers also are tea drinkers. Okay, so this month, actually for September, see, I wanted to see what this looks like hanging, and now I keep hitting it with my head. Okay, I got another chai. I might go into my settings and change that I want chai. I get a chai every time, and I mostly like them, but I feel like maybe I'm a little chai'd out, but maybe not. The one this month is made with the mate tea and an oolong and a rooibos with cinnamon pieces, ginger, pineapple, papaya. So it's a Wonder Ayurvedic chai. So I believe I'm spilling everywhere. I believe I've tried it already. Yeah, tried it already. And it's good. You can really, the cinnamon is what makes this one different from the chai I got last month, which was a ginger chai. This one has ginger in it, but you can really smell the difference with the cinnamon. So it was good. I've been drinking more chai cold. I like some of the spicier things that way. But the nice thing about chai is that it's also really great hot. I can't get my chais to taste like the chai latte I get from every coffee shop in the history of the world. So I've been thinking about doing that. A couple of months ago, one of the chais that came in the box was one that was mixed with some different things, and you're supposed to mix it with milk. So my guess would be that one will be more similar to the latte, the not store-bought, but like coffee shop latte. So this one was pretty good. The other one that I've already tried, and it keeps spilling everywhere, I would say that one of the things that I don't like about getting samples of anything is when you can't close the little sample box, because for this one this is 4 servings, and actually it's probably more than 4 servings. It's probably supposed to be 4 in a pouch, and I usually put 4 pouches worth, and I usually put half of this whole thing into one pouch and then steep it probably 3 or 4 times. So there's half of it still in there, and because it doesn't seal in any way, I've been just spilling it everywhere. This is a tart tea to the party, caffeine-free herbal, and it's really fruity. It's got apple, hibiscus, papaya, currant, strawberry, elderberries, black currants, raspberries, strawberries, sunflower, cornflower. It's really good. If you ever had, it reminds me a lot of one of Tivana's teas that I loved that they always had as a sample. Maybe it was a berry something, I can't remember, but it was always one of the ones that they had a sample in the store in the mall. So I really liked it. I'm currently drinking it cold, and I would say that for most berry heavy teas, I do prefer those as a cold beverage. And it's really good. I make a big thing like this of tea. So I took half of what's in here and steeped it in a glass, in water, of course, but probably like a 16-ounce glass. Steeped it for however long it said, and then poured it in here over ice, and then steeped about half as much of that again with the tea, and then poured that in here, and then put my sweetener in. So that's how I make a water bottle of iced tea. Each month you also get bags. So there's one bag that is theoretically reusable. I've never used it before. I have one from every month. It's still sitting in there. And inside each of those are the disposable ones. So you get one reusable one, and then I don't know how many disposable ones you get. I've never run out, but I also have a box of tea bags that I bought from the store, so I don't always use those. Oh, so this herbal tea is from Tea Kitten. The third tea is an English breakfast. It's a black tea. Breakfast teas are usually, of course, a little bit more highly caffeinated than the other teas. So I believe I got 3 of these. Classic blend of fine tea, English. I don't always love English teas, but I always try them. So I'll probably try one. I do prefer black tea hot. And then if I make an iced tea out of black tea, I often mix it with something else, something fruity usually. And then my 4th tea, I can tell you more about that English breakfast. High caffeine. Made from Assam, Ceylon, and a Kenyan black tea. Wake up with a quintessential British cuppa. And then the 4th tea I got this month, which I'm kind of excited about. I'm surprised I didn't try it first. It is a blackberry sage from the Republic of Tea. So the Republic of Tea is a company that also has tea, canisters of tea that are bookish inspired. and they sell them in the bookstore. So like you might find them at Barnes & Noble or Second and Charles. And the last one I got was fairly inexpensive. It was maybe like $6 or $7 for a can, and there were like 50 sachets in there. So it's not a bad deal. This one is Blackberry Sage. I haven't opened it to put my sniffer in there yet. But I anticipate loving the smell of this. Enjoy this environmentally friendly, round, unbleached tea bag, free of wasteful strings, staples, and tags. So, finest quality. It's a black tea, so high caffeine, natural blackberry flavor, and sage. So, sage is you guys know this, right? A savory flavor. So, my guess is going to be that I'm going to prefer this one as a hot tea. And probably that's like the conditioning for me of savory flavors is more like a soup than a beverage. Like I can't think, you know, if you stay in the hospital and they give you chicken broth, some people drink chicken broth like it's a tea. And the idea of that is so mind-boggling to me. I can drink a chicken broth, but if you tell me it's chicken tea, I'm probably gonna gag a little bit. It's just like in my mind, you know? So, finest quality black tea leaves mingle with sweet, fragrant blackberries and cool, soothing white sage. So maybe it's not as savory as I'm thinking. The mild, head-clearing character of white sage contributes to a wise tea mind. So those are my September teas. Each one comes with a description of your tea, as well as steeping instructions and whether it's high, medium, or low caffeine. I'm someone who thinks that every beverage I drink should have either caffeine or alcohol in it. So I'm terrible at water. Tea helps me stay hydrated for that exact reason. The other thing that's exciting that I got, it's so goobery, but it's also really cute. So I'm an old person, and a long time ago when I was a kid, if you went to Dairy Queen and got something, they gave you a spoon that had the little outline of an ice cream cone on the top of it. And I love Dairy Queen, and we have them in the Rochester area now. We didn't have them when we moved here about 11 years ago. And so I go to Dairy Queen, not regularly, but sometimes. Regularly, not often. And every time I go, I complain about how the spoon no longer has the ice cream cone thing at the top. And so Hubbo got me these from eBay. I have no idea how much she paid for them, and it's so silly, but I love them. So I'm thinking that they will probably be my tea making spoons. Isn't that so cute? I also got some Posca glitter markers in the mail today. So if we ever get out of quarantine, maybe my shopping will go down, but I feel like I'm kind of on a roll at this point. All right, that's all I've got. Tea and a book. See you next time.